Yo, welcome to Reggie Red's Reactions. It's your boy, Reggie Red. Okay, today I got three different clips I want to show y'all today. Now, the first one is Trump's niece explaining a thing or two about her loving uncle. Let's jump right into it.
CNN reported on Tuesday that top Trump regime officials were scheduled to meet Wednesday at the vice president's residence in order to brainstorm about their response to the quote unquote Epstein situation. Their goal was to figure out whether or not to release an audio recording and transcript of Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche's recent conversations with the vile, grotesque sex trafficker of girls and young women and very close associate of sex trafficker and rapist of girls and young women, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell. Sources told CNN that the dinner would focus on forming a unified response to the controversy. In other words, they were trying to figure out how best to lie about all of it. Attendees were supposed to include White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Vice President JD Vance, Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, and the aforementioned Todd Blanche. What a dinner party. You know, sometimes you get that theoretical question. If you could invite anybody to a dinner party, dead or alive, who would it be? Well, this is the opposite of that. When Donald was asked about this dinner during a press conference in front of Vance, neither seemed to know anything about it. Apparently, nobody had bothered to tell them that news had leaked about the meeting because these idiots don't understand how recording devices work and they are incapable of keeping secrets, even if they're secrets they most desperately need to have kept. Watch this.
Vice President Vance hosting a gathering this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation.
Is he working on what?
Is he hosting some kind of gathering of top advisors this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
I don't know. I could ask you that question. I don't know of it, but I think here's the man right here.
I saw reported today, and it's completely fake news. We're not meeting to talk about the Epstein situation, and I think the reporter who reported it needs to get better sources.
The whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful 6 months in the history of our country. And that's just a way of trying to divert attention to something that's total bullshit.
That's what it means to be presidential now. By the way, whenever Donald pretends he didn't hear or understand a question, what he's doing is figuring out how to respond, or let me rephrase, figure out what lie to tell in response. And whenever you hear JD Vance say it's fake news or Donald say it's a hoax, you know that it's true.
Yeah, she be going on Trump ass. And that's that's his straight up niece. He be straight going on him. But anyway, up next we got another one of my favorites. It's from the I've Had It podcast with Jennifer and Pumps. Let's check
to
them out.
talk about this ad nauseum because this is the party that goes on and on. Like their number one thing when they get in any debate with a Democrat is, what's a woman? Right. Like they're, that's some big hang up in the Democratic Party. It's like the Sydney Sweeney thing. They have to make up and manufacture all this stuff. So I think we need to dumb down our communication surrounding JD Vance and say, I think it's interesting that he wears a lot of eyeliner, varying depending on if he's in daylight or if he's in studio. I mean, sometimes we're really getting close to a smoky eye. His relationship with Peter Thiel is odd. When he came back from Silicon Valley, he looked pretty yassified. He looked like he got queer-eyed. The video of him running at Disneyland, like flailing as he ran to go get his kids. Like, is this is the guy that's going to dismantle Donald Trump that has a cult following that shocks the shit out of me, but I've seen it. I mean, we live in a red state. He has a cult following. This beta is going to dismantle Trump. So are we doing a good enough job beating up on Smokey Eye Sociopath? No, I don't think.
Man, these two ladies crack me up, bro. She straight said the man had a smoky eye. And she kind of hinted like he was on the DL or so. So him trying to call himself being sneaky and trying to take over for Trump ain't gonna happen. You gonna get caught before then, cause everybody already know JD. He's the one that's leaking all this shit out. I'm sure everybody know that shit. But anyway, up next we got MSNBC's Psaki talking about Trump's upcoming meet with Russia's Putin, and everybody think that he's gonna capitulate. He already talking about swapping land and shit. What land do Ukraine got of Russia's to swap? Cause last time I checked, Russia was invading Ukraine. But anyway, let's get into what she talking about. Roll a clip.
Was supposed to deliver on his big ultimatum for Vladimir Putin. End the war in Ukraine or else face new crippling economic sanctions. That was the ultimatum. What Trump did instead, though, is bow completely to Putin. Today, Trump announced that he would be meeting with the Russian president face-to-face next Friday in Alaska on U.S. soil, an added bonus for the Russians. But wait, there's more. Earlier today, when asked whether Ukraine, who was invaded by Russia 3.5 years ago and has been defending itself ever since, would have to give up its territory, Trump gave this little clue about what a peace deal could entail.
We're going to get some switched. There'll be some swapping of territories to the betterment of both.
The betterment of both. Quite a turn of phrase. This is Ukraine's territory. I'm not sure what he means, the betterment of both. Now, make no mistake, that was the president of the United States capitulating to Russia in advance of a meeting with Putin. So today was kind of a big win for Russia, which is why one could imagine that in the Kremlin tonight, it's vodka shots all around, perhaps. Joining me now is former U.S. ambassador to Russia under President Obama, Michael McFaul, who I should add speaks regularly with Ukraine's President Zelensky and knows a whole lot about these issues, as you all know. Ambassador McFaul, I mean, I just gave my short take on this meeting, but what do you think?
Jen, that was a pretty good take. That's exactly what I think. This is an extraordinary gift to Putin, just like you said. As you remember, when we worked together at the White House, anytime a foreign leader meets with the president of the United States, that's a gift. That it is Vladimir Putin that can't travel to a lot of countries because he's a criminal, and that he gets to come to the United States of America and stand next to the president of the United States is a gift. He's already received everything he needs. The question, therefore, for President Trump and his team, what are we getting in return for America's national interests, for Europe's interests, and for Ukraine's interests? And so far, the details on that are very murky. The clip you just played about swaps, you're absolutely right. He's talking about swapping Ukrainian land for Ukrainian land. He's not talking about Russian land being swapped. And I can tell you the reaction in Ukraine among officials, this feels very nervous. They're very nervous about this, especially because President Zelensky's not going to be in Alaska. It's just going to be Putin and Trump.
Yeah, and see, I don't know how that's gonna work because Zelensky, he's not even there to even speak or negotiate on his own country's behalf, on Ukraine's behalf. So what Trump and Putin doing, that's just two buddies getting together because they can't be negotiating for a whole nother country that's not even there. They can't be doing that. And Trump would let them back in the United States, even though it's Alaska, which Alaska is damn near Canada, but it's still the United States. Like he said, Putin, he can barely go any motherfucking where, because dude's a criminal. But as we can see, seem like Trump like criminals. From the J6 pardons to the Ghislaine Maxwell fucking spa day treatment she getting. If this shit, his actions don't tell you by now who he is, You a lost cause, bro. You got his own niece on her telling you about her uncle, telling you she got a video on her telling you how back in the day he used to just do little shit that was kind of off, like, and be like hella racist to black people. And where she told a story about somebody bust the window out his car, and you like, oh, I know it was some niggers did it. Like, that's the guy he is, man. That's the guy he is. That's y'all president. Ain't that a bitch? But I'm out of here. This is Reggie Red's reactions. Like, comment, share with your friends, share with your family, especially your MAGA family, because I like to piss them off. And I'm out of here. Once again, peace.